Howdy y'all, welcome to Hazen Barrel Craftworks. I'm the Alchemist. In today's bottle, we've got an Old Forester Single Barrel Strength Rye. And what I like about this bottle, when you get into that Single Barrel Strength Rye, is the proof. But why do I like the proof? Well, we're talking 132.1 proof on a rye. And to me, when you get these ryes with that higher proof, you get some really good rye candy. Typically, you get some nice sweetness, you get some really in-depth flavors, and it's just a really good whiskey to me, a really good rye. And Old Forester comes to us from Brown-Forman, which is the same distillery that does Jack Daniels. And as you all know, I'm kind of a Jack Daniels guy, and I'm also kind of a Old Forester guy. When we're looking at this one, we got a 65% rye, a 20% malted barley, and a 50% corn mash bill. And that 20% malted barley, for me, is a pretty high malted barley content when we're talking rye whiskeys. And this is just from my experience, the rye whiskeys that I've come across as I've been drinking them and enjoying rye whiskey. Now, when I look at this bottle, also, what I really like about this Old Forester label is it tells you that it comes from Warehouse G, Floor 8. And now Warehouse G is one of their old Brown-Forman's old brick and mortar warehouses where they actually heat cycle that warehouse. So they control the temperatures in that warehouse. And Floor 8, we're talking, that's like the attic. That's the very top. So that's where that heat is going to go up there and really draw that moisture, that alcohol, right deep in those oak, and push it back out as the heat temperature or the temperature cycle. It's going to cycle that juice in and out, and you're going to get some good depth of flavor in a rye whiskey, and any whiskey really, if you've got it up with that temperature cycle. Now, the proof typically will in this warehouse will vary between that 125 to 135, so I feel really good getting one of these at that 132.1 proof, and I'm really excited to share what I get anyway for notes on this one. So let's see what we got together here on this and give her a little bit of a nose. Okay, the first thing I get on this I actually get right away like a toasted nut smell, which surprises me. Usually on a rye, the first thing I'm getting is not any kind of a toasted nut. I'm diving in and I'm hoping for a rye spice, a rye candy. And the thing about again, we talked about the warehouse, and you heat cycle that, it ages it, in my opinion anyway, it ages it a little bit faster. And I was hoping for some rye candy on this. I'm not getting it right away. I'm getting a little bit of some kind of a toasted nut, and I'm getting a dark brown sugar note. And when I say dark brown sugar, in my opinion, this dark brown sugar, a lot of times I talk about you put brown sugar in a pan and you start melting it, and it gets to that point where that brown sugar starts to caramelize and get just a little bit burnt. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about on this one is a dark brown sugar. So you got light brown sugar, you've got dark brown sugar if you bake it all or are familiar with brown sugar. And this dark brown sugar to me is a brown sugar that has a little bit more of a strong molasses smell to it, but yet it's brown sugary. And that's kind of what I'm getting. And I'm also, I'm going to say that. I'm going to go in for my sips before I say this other one because I don't want to toss something out there and be wrong. So let's go in for a sip. Okay, there's my rye. Nice bit of heat with that high proof. Love that heat on the tip of my tongue. Love it. So I've got that going on right now. And it's biting me a little bit. Goes down the palate, gives me a beautiful Kentucky hug. So I've got that rye herbalness on the palate. I'm even getting some orchard fruits on this one. And definitely some cinnamon. You know, a lot of times on a high proof rye like this, it dries my palate out. I'm not getting any of that. But definitely some pear or apple. I'm going to call it apple on this one. Like a little cinnamon apple. And that rye, like more herbally rye. Very good. The finish on this one, though, is definitely rye spice. That's coming in nice. I love it. But as it starts to dissipate a little bit, minty, a little bit minty, which comes along with rye to me quite often in different whiskeys, different levels in whiskey. This one's just a nice hint in the back of my palate. Just a hint of mintiness, just sits back there quite nice. This finish is long, and as I lick my lips, I'm getting more of that dark brown sugar that I got on the nose. And what I was going to say earlier is, but I held back, I'm getting a little citrus. And to me, it's a bit of a lemon. This one's quite nice. Love it. And this offering here is quite delightful. And I'd say y'all, if you're a rye guy, if you're a proof guy, this is one that y'all have to have on your shelf. Fantastic pour, fantastic rye whiskey, and I'm going to keep it on my shelf. I'm going to look for those high proofs again because that 131 is hitting me just right. Is it 131 or is it 132.1? It's hitting me just right, so I'm going to go in for another one. And as y'all know, I love to have y'all coming back around, so please take it easy. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.